a dream born in the jungle, long before ships sailed effortlessly through the narrow Isthmus of Panama. The region was a dense, dangerous jungle filled with tropical diseases, impenetrable terrain, and rivers teeming with crocodiles. Indigenous peoples traversed it on foot. Conquistadors like Vasco Núñez de Balboa were the first to imagine a link between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, a vision that haunted empires for centuries. By the 19th century, global trade had exploded. The idea of slicing the Americas in half to create a water route wasn't just fantasy anymore. It became a geopolitical necessity. In 1881, Ferdinand de Lesseps, the famed French engineer who had built the Suez Canal, launched a grand project to build a canal through Panama. But what worked in the Egyptian desert failed in the tropics. Thousands died from yellow fever, malaria, landslides, and starvation. By 1889, the French effort collapsed in scandal, bankruptcy, and death. The jungle had won. In 1903, U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt seized an opportunity. After Colombia, which controlled Panama at the time, refused to agree to terms, America secretly backed a Panamanian revolution. A new nation was born overnight, Panama, and it quickly signed a treaty giving the U.S. control over the canal zone. Construction began in 1904. With modern machinery, better medical care, thanks to Dr. William Gorgas, who wiped out yellow fever, and thousands of laborers from the Caribbean and beyond, the impossible became reality. On August 15, 1914, the SS Ancon became the first ship to transit the canal. The Panama Canal became one of the most strategic waterways in the world. It shortened shipping routes by 8,000 miles and became a symbol of American engineering prowess. But it wasn't just a feat of engineering. It also symbolized imperialism. The U.S. controlled the canal zone like a colony. Generations of Panamanians resented this. By the mid-20th century, protests erupted. In 1964, Panamanian students tried to raise their flag in the canal zone. Riots broke out and dozens died. The event sparked a long negotiation between Panama and the U.S. Finally, in 1977, President Jimmy Carter and General Omar Torrijos of Panama signed a treaty. The canal would be handed back to Panama by December 31, 1999. At midnight, as fireworks lit the sky, the canal officially became Panamanian once again. In 2016, Panama completed a $5.4 billion expansion, the Panama Canal Expansion Project, to accommodate larger new Panamax ships. Today, over 14,000 ships pass through every year, carrying over 300 million tons of cargo. But climate change now threatens this mighty waterway. Prolonged droughts in 2023 to 2025 have reduced water levels in Gatun Lake, limiting the number of ships that can pass daily. The Panama Canal remains a marvel and a mirror to humanity's ambition and vulnerability. In 2025, historian and treasure hunter Dr. Sofia Alvarez receives a mysterious envelope from her late grandfather, a former engineer on the canal. Inside is a brittle map, a key, and a cryptic note. What was hidden in 1914 must not be found in 2025. Follow the rusted gate near lock number 7. Lock number 7 didn't exist. Not officially, but to Sofia, this was the beginning of a new kind of canal story. Not one of politics or trade, but of secrets buried beneath concrete and water. Sofia arrives in Panama City and contacts Captain Raul Mendoza, a former Panamanian Navy diver. Together, they investigate a set of blueprints in the old American administrative building. They discover something shocking. In 1913, the U.S. military secretly commissioned a subterranean tunnel running below the canal, supposedly to store classified equipment. But the tunnel was sealed and erased from history. Sofia and Raul dive into the old lock basin during the dry season when water levels are lowest. After days of searching, they find the rusted gate her grandfather mentioned. Behind it, they uncover a massive underground chamber, filled with old crates stamped 1914, Top Secret U.S. Navy. Inside one of the crates is something strange. A gold-plated mechanical device with inscriptions in Latin, gears etched with maps, and a journal written in code. As they decode the journal, Sofia realizes this is more than military tech. It was designed by Nikola Tesla, who allegedly visited the canal zone in secret. The machine was a prototype to manipulate magnetic fields, perhaps to control compasses and navigation. But it also had the potential to disrupt global maritime traffic if reactivated. Someone else knows about it. A private security force, hired by an unknown billionaire tech mogul, begins tracking them. Their goal: retrieve and activate the device to control global shipping lanes through technological sabotage. Sophia and Raoul flee through ancient maintenance tunnels built by French engineers. Along the way, they meet Tia Marta, an 85-year-old Panamanian woman who once worked in the zone. She reveals another truth. Many locals were told stories of the Devil's Lock, an area of the canal that made ships disappear. Was it legend, or had someone used the Tesla device before? Sophia and Raoul decide to hide the device, but not before copying Tesla's designs and burying them in the National Archives. In a dramatic final scene, they sabotage the mogul's yacht as it tries to pass through the Miraflores locks. The device is lost beneath the rising waters once again, until history calls it forth. Today, tourists and cargo ships pass through the Panama Canal unaware that deep beneath the waters, a hidden machine sleeps. The government denies any rumors of Tesla's visit. Locals whisper that during storms, the water turns strangely magnetic, compasses spin, and ships occasionally vanish for hours. Dr. Sofia Alvarez returned to her university, never speaking of the canal again. But sometimes, when teaching, she pauses mid-sentence as if remembering something, and in her desk drawer sits a rusted gear, engraved with the seal of the United States Navy and the year 1914.